So after the events early in the morning, New Year's Day in New Orleans, the decision was made to postpone the All-State Sugar Bowl until January 2nd, which the game did take place yesterday. Georgia lost to Notre Dame. Ironically, all four teams that had a bye in the college football playoffs all lost. But that's a story for another day. What this is about is the just hubris, and I'll just quite out frankly call it arrogance, of both Disney-owned ESPN and the title sponsor of the Sugar Bowl, Allstate. But before I get into that, folks, just want to take the time to thank everyone for watching my content, watching my videos over the last couple of years. If you want to support the channel, there's a couple ways you can do it. One, you could smash that like button, like that video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I don't know why you haven't. I put a lot of content out there about sports, media, pop culture, entertainment, current events, whatever the case may be. And some of you may agree with me, some of you may not, but it's worth a subscribe. It's free. Also, before you leave, please leave a comment down below. Those things tell the YouTube algorithm that, hey, this guy's putting out some decent stuff. So now that that's out of the way, first things first. ESPN refuses to call the events in New Orleans early in the morning on New Year's Day what it actually is. It was a terrorist attack. It was an act of terror. You don't drive a truck into a crowd and call it a truck attack, because the truck didn't do it. The truck wasn't responsible. But that's what it makes it sound like. So that's the first thing, ESPN. Call it what it is. Stop trying to play the let's dance around the actual thing that happened. Let's be politically correct. No, screw that. Call it what it is. Say the same thing about what happened in Las Vegas with the Cybertruck that exploded out in front of Trump International. That wasn't a truck attack. It was an act of terror. So that's the first thing. Second thing, ESPN. Why did you skip the moment of silence and the national anthem before the Sugar Bowl? Why? You know, things like that are what tells you that they don't really care about their audience. They don't really care about, in my opinion, the events that took place in New Orleans. They say they do. So here it is from Breitbart. ESPN slammed after skipping moment of silence for terror attack victims during Sugar Bowl. ESPN has been taking heat on social media for skipping a moment of silence during the Sugar Bowl broadcast, which was held in honor of the victims of the terror attack in New Orleans this week. The attack occurred on New Year's Day when 42-year-old Shamsud Din Jabbar drove a pickup truck through a crowd of revelers on Bourbon Street, killing 14 people while injuring another 35. As a result, the organizers decided to postpone the beloved All-State Sugar Bowl held in New Orleans until Thursday to show respect and ensure proper security. According to the Daily Mail, the decision was made by the Bulls Committee in consultation with ESPN, the SEC, which has a relationship with the game. They've had a long-standing relationship with the game, and the two schools involved, that'd be Notre Dame and Georgia. The game went forward as scheduled on Thursday after law enforcement thoroughly swept the area for security checks. Before kickoff, a moment of silence was held for the victims shortly after the national anthem, which ESPN inexplicably skipped over. But neither of these moments, the anthem or the silence, were shown on ESPN, as the network instead had a studio show breaking down the game. People on social media immediately voiced their displeasure, with some even blaming Disney, ESPN's parent company, for the decision. So here at Trish Regan, really, ESPN? You won't show the national anthem, a moment of silence for the victims of the New Orleans jihadist terror attack? There's no excuse for that. Disney CEO needs to step up to the plate and demand a complete reorg of the entire network, or just sell it now. Well, I can tell you, Bob Iger is not going to do that. He's on his way out the door. Remember, his contract is up in 2026. He's going to retire again. And they're not going to... ESPN is Disney's cash cow. They're not going to split that off. Classic ESPN not showing the national anthem or a moment of silence before the Sugar Bowl. I guess ESPN is too good or woke to show the Star Spangled Banner being sung or the moment of silence for the New Orleans NYE victims. ESPN didn't air the national anthem or the moment of silence for the New Orleans terror attack victims, per Bobby Barack, and they continued to label the terror attack a truck attack on screen. ESPN, F you. I cannot believe you didn't show the national anthem and the moment of silence. So sick of your woke DEI bullshit. And you just lost this subscriber. Anything on ESPN, I will just miss it. F it. Over it. College football fans have blasted ESPN for not showing the national anthem and moment of silence at the Sugar Bowl following the terror attack in New Orleans. Dear ESPN, it would have been really nice to see the moment of silence and national anthem before the Sugar Bowl CFP playoff today. While ESPN did not show the moment of silence live, it did show images of fans bowing their heads with an American flag unfurled midfield. It also shared a statement from President Joe Biden addressing the terror attack while expressing gratitude that the Sugar Bowl would continue. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother reading Joe Biden's statement. Not even going to bother with that. So there we have ESPN refusing to call the events New Year's Day morning in New Orleans what it actually was. Not only that, but then you have the title sponsor, Allstate. And I was watching I had this on. I was watching this, and I could not believe somebody at Allstate okayed this statement. This is one of the most tone-deaf statements you could ever hear. Tom Wilson, Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of Allstate, and again, I'm pulling this from Breitbart, sponsor of the Sugar Bowl, sparked severe backlash on social media Thursday afternoon after a statement following the New Year's Day terror attacks in New Orleans. And I think here's the video statement here. I'm going to play this for you guys. This is just, I can't believe. I just can't believe what I'm about to play.
Welcome to the Allstate Sugar Bowl. Wednesday, tragedy struck the New Orleans community. Our prayers are with the victims and their families. We also need to be stronger together by overcoming an addiction to divisiveness and negativity.
Overcoming an addiction to divisiveness and negativity. Are you fucking kidding me? We need to overcome divisiveness and negativity after a guy drove his truck through a crowd on Bourbon Street on New Year's Eve. Talk about tone deaf. Now, full disclosure, I have my auto and renter's insurance through Allstate. I've got to rethink that now. Because I can't support this type of spewage coming out of the CEO's mouth after what just took place on New Year's Day early in the morning in New Orleans.
Join Allstate working in local communities all across America to amplify the positive, increase trust, and accept people's imperfections and differences. Together, we
accept people's imperfections and differences. That's okay unless they're an effing terrorist. You want to talk about tone deaf. So Clay Travis posted this on X. Let's get back to... Oh, this is from Outkick. Allstate tries to scrub disgusting video, but customers are already fleeing. Here's the good news. The apparently very woke interns who run the Allstate marketing team have made the smart choice of deleting what might have been the dumbest, most tone-deaf video on the planet. Now, here is the chief DEI officer for Allstate. And in this video, she talks about her hiring practices and promised to use more diversity, specifically when hiring for leadership positions. If you're qualified and are not diverse enough and were passed up for a job or promotion at Allstate, you may have been discriminated against. Exactly. Exactly. There's a reason why companies and corporations are running away from DEI. More need to run away from DEI. So I just played the Allstate clip from the CEO. That's right. Apparently, in the eyes of Allstate, us ISIS and non-ISIS folks need to figure out a path forward. It's on us, not on them. Not ISIS, us. It's our fault that some maniac got turned by lunatics in the East and decided to murder dozens of Americans in cold blood. Sorry. Yeah, it's our fault. We need to be more inclusive. Like I said, the good news is Allstate deleted the tweet that included the video. The bad news, though, it's 2025. The internet isn't dumb. Everyone was watching the game yesterday, and Americans have already begun canceling their policies. Some have said this is Allstate's Bud Light moment. Isn't it ironic now when things like this happen, they always go back to it's their Bud Light moment? This is a Bud Light moment. And this is Zach Dean, who wrote this article at Outkick. He says, I could go on and on. Seriously, it's a war zone right now. And for good reason, by the way. I almost couldn't believe what I was watching last night, and I watched this lunatic wax poetic in real time. It was amazing. I thought it was a spoof. I thought Allstate had been hacked. I thought ESPN, well, I figured ESPN would run something like that, so I wasn't surprised by that. But everything else, insane. I mean, how dumb are these people? Yeah. As Amber Harding said in the Outkick chat last night, has ISIS thought about taking a timeout against hate? That's how dumb we are. We run commercials like, take a timeout against hate. You've surely seen it this NFL season. And the stupid Allstate one, and ignore the fact that a maniac who was infiltrated by ISIS just murdered dozens of Americans in the street. But I can go on. See, I'm going to play here. This is the national anthem before the Sugar Bowl that ESPN did not show on their broadcast, which they normally show, for the most part, national anthem.
Our national anthem. like the drums what's so proudly at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, the gallantly stream, and the rockets the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free? And the home of the
So there's the national anthem, which ESPN didn't want to show you pregame. Next, we have a moment of silence in remembrance of the tragic events that happened on New Year's Day, early in the morning in New Orleans.
Join New Orleans home.
That's still the national anthem. Let's go to this moment of silence. Let's see if I can find the USA chants. That sounds more like Georgia fans. So, there you have it. Both ESPN and Allstate being totally tone deaf. So, what do you guys make of this? Comment down below. I mean, I've shared my opinion. I think this is atrocious. I think Allstate, they're gonna get what they deserve after putting out a tone deaf statement like they did prior to the game. As for ESPN, they pull this shit all the time because they are so far out of touch. They are so far to the left. They just can't help themselves. And same could be said for Disney, the parent company of ESPN. So comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. While you're at it, please take the time again to smash that like button. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Share this video out there with your friends and family. And with that, I will see you guys